This week, we're celebrating 70 years of 12 News. In fact, on this day in 1953, Channel 12 went on the air for the very first time.
And throughout the week, we are welcoming some of the mainstays who made the station what it is today. And tonight, we have a very special guest, our friend and former 12 News anchor, Lin Sue Flood. You're Mark's former co-anchor, my predecessor. So this is kind of like a reunion right now.
Oh my God, happy birthday.
So good to see
Yes,
you.
thank you. I don't feel a day over 70.
So, Lin Sue, what were some of your fondest memories of working here at 12 News all those years?
Aside from working with us.
Well, yeah, I knew you'd have to say that. Well, but that's actually true. I do miss the people. You know, the hours are tough.
Yeah.
The stories can be heartbreaking. So, you know, I'm not so much missing that, but I do miss the people and the camaraderie. I have a lot of that now where I work now, but there's nothing like a big story that brings the whole newsroom together and you get it on the air by the seat of your pants and it's amazing and you've informed your whole community. You know, those are the really fun days where the adrenaline just...
I was going to ask you, you went to work for hospice and have done a phenomenal job with them, but do you ever miss that adrenaline rush that you get when there's breaking news?
Oh, so yes, but I'm the kind of person that makes my own adrenaline. So there's plenty of it where I am now. You know, I love to tell stories, Mark, you know that. So I tell lots of beautiful stories still.
And there's some stories that probably never leave you. What are some of the stories that really just impacted you the most?
Well, we were kind of reminiscing about Granite Mountain Hot Shots. 9/11 was devastating to our whole nation. I think we were all doing our jobs with tears in our eyes and lumps in our throats. Gabby Gifford, there were just so many. But then there were also wonderful stories of everyday heroes who did beautiful things. You know, most people are good and there is good news, and I always love telling those stories and giving people hope.
I think that's the thing about this business that a lot of people don't understand is, you know, we all have coworkers that we like and coworkers that we don't like. But in this particular business, I think the bonds are tighter because of what you go through on a daily basis. You know, you need someone to unload on when you've told the story of 9/11 6 times over the course of a day, or you have seen the tears in the eyes of the people of Yarnell, and then you're only human and you have to decompress to someone, and usually it's your coworker.
Because they've been through it with you every step of the way.
Right.
Mark,
and you're having to process it,
Yes.
you know, while delivering it to viewers in a way that, you know, they can understand.
Well, you did that for me as a co-anchor all the time.
And
I think
you for me.
Strengthened, right? And it was so fun because we had that kind of rapport where, and I know you saw it, like I would know his punchline or he would take a breath in and I knew he was going to talk, so I would stop. We kind of knew each other's breaths.
Rhythm.
Yeah.
Well, there is one person who we thought would be here tonight, but she couldn't because of an emergency a situation where she lives. Everything's fine.
Yeah.
Yes.
So her pets.
But Janine Ford was supposed to be here, but she did want to check in via a special message. Take a look.
Happy 70th anniversary 12 News. So excited. And just want to tell you that I'm still at it up here in the White Mountains, doing a couple of radio shows. I have a morning radio show, Magic 1017, and then I have a news talk show on iTalk, and it's called Voice of the Mountains. So I am loving every minute of it. Of course, I've never been able to stop talking, so you know me, that hasn't changed. But as far as the 70th anniversary of 12 News, oh my goodness, the memories. And thinking back, I would think that my favorite memories are where we could do stories where we really made a difference. And living up here in the White Mountains now, I always remember like covering the Rodeo Cheddar Sky Fire and how that coverage was so incredible, letting people know what was going on and telling all of the great stories from up here in the White Mountains and rural Arizona. And you know that that's always been near and dear to my heart. So I love the stories where we made a difference with 12 News. And then secondly, the thing I always think about looking back is I think about all the beautiful memories with my coworkers and how the laughter. I think about all the fun times. Kent, Lin Sue, and then Bill Denny inevitably would say something that would just knock Kent off his chair, and we couldn't stop laughing. They'd always try to make me read on, and I'd snort or something. It was embarrassing. But Bill Austin, Sean McLaughlin, all the, and more importantly, all the incredible producers, directors, and people we had behind the scenes helping us out and making it a great show. So, it's really a legacy, and 12 News just stands strong. And I'm really, really proud of all the work that you guys have been doing and how good you're at it still. Okay. So happy 70th. And if you guys ever get up to the White Mountains, come and see me again, or you can hear me on iTalk 1067 FM, the voice of the mountain FM. And I've got a magic morning show. Go figure. Okay. So come up, be on my radio show, or come up and say hi. Love you all. Happy anniversary, 12 News.
Did you notice how many times she
love it.
plugged her radio show?
We did, yes.
I think it was 7.
I love that she's still in the business, though. You know,
She understands the news.
She does. Lin Sue, you've always been really good about sharing personal moments with the viewers while you were here. I remember when I first got here, I didn't, know you. I was a weekend weather person, and you were the big news anchor.
brother.
And you invited me to Wynn's adoption party. Yeah, when you adopted Wynn, and I remember that was one of the first moments that you and I had a personal connection.
We
outside of
bonded.
work. We bonded, but you shared that with viewers and that whole journey in his adoption.
It was a beautiful story, and it showed there are so many beautiful ways to build a family. And we've had, over the years, many people tell us that they went to China and adopted a little girl, usually, because they were inspired by the fact that you could, expand your family. And gosh, he is everything you'd ever want in a son. The two of them are so cute together. They're finishing finals this week. They'll be home this weekend for the summer.
I can't believe so much time has gone by. I mean, he was 4 when I went to that party.
3.
Oh, he was
He was
3.
3.
How old is he now?
He's gonna be 21.
Oh my God.
We're not that old. I don't know how that happened.
Crazy.
Did you see those pictures that we were running when Janine was talking? We were babies.
I was going to ask you.
You guys look exactly the same.
No,
Both of
we
you look
don't.
exactly the same.
When you look back on that, to me, it was a simpler time, and it was easier to do this job. Do you think you'd enjoy doing TV news now with some of the toxicity that's out there and the social media and things like that?
So social media really changed things. The hardest thing for me, and I don't think I'd be able to do it now, is that it isn't so neutral. It isn't neutral. It isn't who, what, where, why, when. There's a little bit of opinion and bias put in, and that would be hard for me now. But you guys are doing a great job. You're carrying on the tradition. I saw a story the other night where you threw Mark under the bus. He laughed his head off. Do you remember this? You were the whack-a-mole that she was hitting in the story?
Listen, this is a nightly occurrence. It's not one time. It was not a one-off.
She's carrying on the tradition because
Yes.
somebody needs to keep that ego in
I was
check.
going to think, how could you leave me with this, Lin Sue? How could you do
You're
this
doing
to
a
me?
great
I
job.
thought you liked me.
Why don't you just move here and I'll go with Tom and we'll go have a couple beers.
Just step right over.
It's so good to see you.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, you
So
two
great to have you here.
are wonderful. You're still always my news fam.
Yes,
And I love
likewise,
you both. Love you
likewise.
both.
Well, happy
We love you too.
anniversary.
Yes, happy anniversary.
Yes. All right.